What's up, minions, and welcome back to another edition of Brutal Block Reacts. I'm your host, DJJC, and today we are bringing you another awesome react video. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different, as this one is going to have 3 music videos in it. That's right, 3 songs are going to be on this video, and the reason why we're doing that is because each song is pretty short. They're only about 2 minutes a piece, but they tell an overall story. And this is something that I've talked about on Brutal Block before, both on my reaction channel and on the actual full episodes. New episodes every Tuesday at noon on Rumble. Check them out.
You sneaky son of a bitch.
But I've talked about this before, where I really like concept albums. I like when bands take the time to tell a story, not just in one track, but an overarching story among tracks. It's something that is somewhat of a dying art, and I would like to see bands do this a lot more. Bring it back. I think it kind of died out when everything started going digital. A lot of bands nowadays just kind of focus on a single and just push that single, you know, and I get it. Attention spans are not as long as they used to be, and you know, everybody's looking for the next new thing. But this band we've had on Brutal Block Reacts before. I'm bringing them back because they just dropped these 3 tracks, and that is Shovel Monster. And today we are going to be listening to Hunt, Torture, Kill, or short HTK. So let's get in on this and let's check it out, and let's see what you guys think, and I'll give my opinion as we run along. So I'm already loving how they're starting this out, because these songs go together. It's really building that atmosphere, making it feel like a musical movie, if you will.
It's got to be biblical.
I love when bands do that. Like they're taking this approach of like, we're going to tell a story, and we're going to tell that story not only with the lyrics, but musically we're going to create that atmosphere. We're going to create that vibe, that uncomfortableness of what we're about to tell you. Because this is basically like a horror movie done in music, and I'm totally digging it. One thing I really love about Shovel Monster is their tracks are very straightforward. The guitars, the drums, they just push and they punch you in the face, and it's just very, very aggressive music. I love the new vocalist they have. I believe I said this on the first reaction that I did, but what I picture Shovel Monster being now with their new vocalist is if Freddy Krueger was in a metal band.
How sweet. Dark beat.
And I definitely get that still with this first track, and it's probably going to fill hopefully through the next 2 tracks. But there's a very horror metal Freddy Krueger type of vibe with this, and I know that Shovel Monster, they have an actual character within the universe of Shovel Monster. And I love that the vocalist has that vibe, because it really gives that creepiness to not only the character that is Shovel Monster, but it goes really well with the very straightforward, punchy guitars and drums. I like that too about them, that they have those really aggressive moments, and then they kind of do like that halftime, they pull back a little bit, give you that little kind of head groove moment, and it just the way they write music is just I love the way they do it. I also appreciate the lyrics being shown. I mean, I know this is a lyrical video, but what I love about the vocalists here too is you don't really need them. Like, I know they're there for the video and all that stuff. I get that, but it's nice when you have a vocalist who, when they scream, they know how to enunciate still. I could put this on in my truck and just jam with it, and I know what he's saying word for word. There's no guessing. There's a lot of bands that I couldn't tell you what they're saying. I have to go read the lyrics to understand what's being said. You don't have that problem with this band. And that's one thing that, I try to, I can't scream for shit. But when I was younger and I was able to, that was one of the things that I always strived for anytime I did vocals, especially harsh vocals. I would always try to make sure I enunciated enough to where you could understand what I was saying without having to go read the lyrics. And that's one of the things you get from Shovel Monster that I really do appreciate. I love they're telling a story. So playing around with it, having fun with the knock, knock, I'm at the door, like, and then cutting the song out that way. Now we're gonna go into the second one. Now we know, okay, we've been through the hunt. Now let's see what happens. You're at the front door. Well, what's song two going to be about? I love that. It's, again, it's something that I wish bands did more often. It allows me to go back. I like being able to put an album in, an EP, a CD. I'm a fan of CDs still. I like being able to pop it in and listen from track one to the last track without having to skip anything, and really feel immersed in the music. Dogfish and Disco's Adultery is one of the albums that I like to think of that has a very good concept type, not skipping. And then Losa, a band that a lot of people don't know about, but Losa, The Perfect Moment, they came out with one album, and that album is, to me, a masterpiece because you can listen to it from beginning. You're supposed to listen to it from beginning to end. And Shovel Monster is one of those bands that's bringing that stuff up front and really doing it justice. They're telling stories. So enough of me rambling. Let's get into the second track here. So you can really hear that Freddy Krueger like thought in this track with the way he's doing the vocals, because he's doing aggressive vocals, but they almost sound like a whisper. It's almost like he's very intimately talking to you as this character. So that's why I said I get a very Freddy Krueger vibe from him, in the sense that it's almost got that vibe of like when Freddy's fucking with you, and like he's chasing you down, he's hunting you down, and he's really kind of fucking with you in the head, and toying with you. That's the kind of vibe that I get from this, which I love. Again, you have this aggressive music playing, but then you have this almost intimate, haunting, uncomfortable feeling with the vocals. it's still very metal, and I would say it's kind of a newish kind of metal in my eyes as far as the approach of the vocals. It's very how can I say? It's very intimate in a creepy way. Yeah, like he's having it's he's talking to you directly, and I think that's what makes it very uncomfortable. What I also love about it is this is basically for me like if Freddy Krueger did vocals for like a Death Clock style band. Like I get like a Death Clock vibe musically, and then Freddy Krueger vocally. If that makes sense. Minus all the dilly 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 doos that like Death Clock does. The really chunky stuff that Death Clock writes, that Brendan Smalls puts into the Death Clock, I get a lot of that. Almost influence in this. I'm fucking digging it, man. This is a band that you would play on Halloween for sure. I don't know if that's a bass or what, but there's like this real fatty tone sliding through and cutting through the mix. I don't know if that's bass or just a sound effect you're using, but that sounds pretty cool to the ear. It's just like it's like a real fatty type sound. I'm digging that. I was expecting to hear just based on where we were going to kind of hear maybe some sound effects going on because this song is called Torture, and I'm led to believe that that's kind of what's going on here. So off with your leg, stuff like that. During that little pause, it would have been cool to hear some flesh ripping or something, some blood curdling, something that would have been cool to hear. But whatever that little fatty tone is that's cutting through the mix, I am liking that. That's pleasing to my ear. Again, I'm a bass player, so anything that has that low end type stuff, I'm really into. But I can hear it; it's cutting through, and it sounds pretty cool. There it is again. Yeah, so I mean, like this stuff is super demented, super dark, and I'm loving it. I mean, like I said, this to me is a a horror trip if you wanted to listen to horror instead of going and watching a horror movie. This is something that I definitely could see being played at a Hollywood Halloween event. It's just it's got that vibe. It's creepy. It's the lyrics are again, man. Like I know I keep saying it, but it's very Freddy Krueger based as far as the tone of it. It's very dark, but it's yeah, it's just I don't know. This is definitely a Halloween band. Let's put it that way. Let's move to the third and final track. And this one is called Kill. So we had Hunt, Torture, and now we move on to Kill. So like these intros for me, like when I'm as I'm listening to this and picturing it, like if this was to be like a let's see, each video is about almost 3 minutes long. So you're looking at about a 9 minute video if you were to put these all together. If you made one big music video, these little ominous tones could be the video part to the next track. So like what I would imagine here is that we already went through the torture and all that stuff, and he's basically saying his fields are dry. He's gonna soak his land with your blood and this and that. So like this part, I could see like maybe the killer dragging the dude, and taking him to another location, or his location, what have you. But like I like that you have these breaks in between each track. It really bridges everything together. Like I said, if you ever did make a music video, this allows you to kind of link them together. You don't have to make one big music video. You could do still the 3 music videos, but you definitely have an opening for each one to have that picture to go along with the music and vocals. So this track is, since it's the very end, it's the most explosive out of the 3. I really like that. So we went through the whole creepy side of things, and now that we're at that end, musically, it's just boom, like it's just exploded, and we're super like in it right now. I'm digging that. That's dude, the drums are awesome on this track too. So we went from like power blasting to like a groove, and now we have like these off tempo accents on the snare. Like I like how it's developing. The drums are very interesting on this one. It's keeping my ears perked. Yes, very much so. I'm very curious as to what the guitar tone here is. I'm not a gear guy, but they sound scooped, and I think it adds some value in the sense of the overall tone of what you're going for musically. Again, I don't know what's being scooped, but something in it gives the music, like I said, we're in the tone of horror movies, right? So it kind of gives it that like classic horror film vibe. Like the guitar tones, even though you're playing heavy music, there's a sound to it that gives it almost like that vintage horror vibe. I don't really know if that explains what I'm hearing well enough. It's not the guitar. It doesn't sound. I don't even know how to really like make that come across. That's the best way I could say it, is because of whatever you scooped in there. It has this very vintage classic sound. And I don't mean like classic metal. I don't mean that at all. I mean like there's a sound that when you watch classic movies, like horror movies, there's a sound that that music has. And I'm not talking like not genre, but like the actual sound that you're getting from it, like old film. You almost have that vibe here, and I really dig it. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but the way that it was, and maybe it's just the way it was mixed, it has this vintage horror film vibe to it. And I think that all those elements together is what really makes this work. The way your vocalist is approaching the vocals themselves, telling the story, the way he went from being real creepy and just, hey, we're having a dialogue, to now being like screaming and like that aggressiveness of, you know, almost the sociopathic mindset. And then you have the guitars and the drums also building that tension. And then the drums at the very end, like I said, all those transitions really worked well. But then, like I said, that guitar tone is just a vibe in its own. And I really think it brings that vintage horror touch. I don't know. I don't know if I explained myself well on that. I may not be making any sense to any of y'all, but there's a tone there that really is sticking out to me that I'm really enjoying. Like, you see how the background, when the lyrics aren't on the video itself, you see how they have that vintage look on the actual image of Shovel Monster in the cabin. Has those lines that kind of go through it. Like, that's what I mean. It's got like that tone, the tone that fits that image is what I'm getting out of it. It's very unique. It's very, very unique, especially from a newer metal band to hear in 2024. It's a very unique sound, and I'm definitely digging it. Loving those slides too, dude. That shit just, I bet that shit's fun as shit to play. That shit's so cool. Well, there you have it, guys. That was Shovel Monsters HTK, their little mini EP. And what'd you think? I hope you had some popcorn and soda put aside while you were doing this, because that was a musical movie horror journey. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much, guys, for reaching out to me and putting this on my radar. Shovel Monster has been a band that's been a part of Brootal Block since its inception. And I love these guys. I love what they're doing. They keep raising the bar. Day 9 was an amazing, amazing EP. And to see them take that and then go to this and just raise that bar just a little bit more was amazing to see. I really like what you guys are doing, and I hope you guys continue to push and make killer stuff. With that being said, if you are a drummer, there is an opportunity for you to possibly be in Shovel Monster. So if you like what you heard and you play drums, then Shovel Monster has an opportunity for you. They are looking for a permanent drummer in the Phoenix area, or someone who is willing to travel. And the travel would only be maybe once or twice a year for a few shows. If you are interested, then head on over to your email and email mick@shovelmonster.com. I have a link down in the description. I'll probably post something right here. It says mick@shovelmonster.com for you to go reach out to them and take advantage of that awesome opportunity that has been given to you. Shovel Monster, Mick, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, and I hope you enjoy our react. Again, and I hope you guys understand where I was coming from with that. You guys have a very unique vibe, a very unique sound, and between you and your vocalist, it's just, it works. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm hoping that you guys go on the road soon, because I, for one, definitely want to go and see you guys play live, and I want to see how y'all tear that house down. I told you this before, Mick, in private message, but if I was better at drums, I definitely would try out. But I'm a Texas boy, and my drumming isn't that great. So I hope a drummer is watching this and they find you guys badass and try out, and you guys can go on the road. Because like I said, I definitely want to check you guys out. With that being said, don't forget, everyone, we do have full-length episodes of the Brootal Block every Tuesday at noon on Rumble. We just hit our 100th episode, and that was a 2-hour plus extravaganza where we played nothing but Texas bands. I wanted to give some love to Texas because I'm from Texas, and I wanted it to be special. So we showed off some Texas bands. If you want to check that out, head on over to Rumble and type in Brootal Block and check that out. But we have new episodes coming out every Tuesday at noon. Shovel Monster is going to be, they're probably going to be opening the show of episode 101, so go look out for that as well. We have some awesome bands lined up for episode 101, and this is to the next 100 episodes. I want to thank all the minions, all the bands, and Matthew Thomas of Super Cool Radio for being the tripod that has made Brootal Block so successful. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and if you want to check out some more reacts, then don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a new react. I'm going to get back on that react horse and be dropping some more videos. I do have some bands lined up. I just wanted to get Shovel Monster in because they did reach out to me first before all these other bands that I had lined up, and I wanted to get it out because this was something that I had been meaning to listen to. I just didn't have the time, and I'm glad that I was able to sit down and share this awesomeness that is HTK with the minions. With that being said, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and I will see you back here with another react. I'm out.